everyone. It is Thursday, also known as Friday Eve. Friday Eve, people. How are you today? What are you excited about? What are you grateful for? Tell me about your Thursday. It is the 16th of September already. It is. Tell me about your day here. That's what I want to know. I want to know how you're doing. Here on this Thursday night. Boom. I can make myself a note. I'm grateful that all of you are here tonight on Thursday night. I know I'm more ish than 8 tonight. Lots going on, but I am glad to be here with you as we, close in on Friday. It is Friday Eve. Friday Eve, people, is the way we're going with it. Friday Eve. Sometimes this week it has really felt like a full moon week, even though it's only like half a moon out there. Only half moon. But it is great to have you here. We are broadcasting tonight on both Facebook and YouTube. Any problems with Facebook? Hop right on over to YouTube. Cassandra's got the link there for you in the Facebook comments. Hey, Kitty, great to have you here. How was your Thursday? Tell me about your day. What are you grateful for this Thursday evening? As we close out Thursday already. I can't believe it. We're closing out Thursday. That is what we are doing. I hope you had a fabulous day. I do. Let's get started with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we go. Tonight, if you're following along in the book, we are on page 174. Good morning. It's okay to let your mind drift. Whoa, cool drift, kid. Hey, a good day of sales. I like a good day of sales. That is a great thing. That is a great thing to hear, Kitty. I'm thrilled to hear that you had a good day of sales. Because like everything else, when you have it first, that means it's coming my way, just like the weather and everything else. So I've got a good day of sales coming my way. Fair season starts here this weekend. We've got the, so it's starting to feel fallish, and we're starting to have fair season. That is a nice sense of a little bit of normalcy. Even have a fair in the little town we live in. So it's actually 4 towns together that do it. And the New England Regional Fair starts this weekend too. The Big E, they call it. It's the Eastern States Exposition. That all the states come together and put one together. I love when you start with a $300 sale. We had the other day, Kitty, $500 sale of just kids' clothes. A $500 sale of just kids' clothes to get things going. And it was like, okay, well, that's a good sign. You know how much work it is to get a this is a good one. What good is having a belly if there's no fire in it? Wake up, drink your passion, light a match even, and get to work. What good is having a belly if there's no fire in it? Wake up, drink your passion, and light a match and get to work. I love it. You know what happened on this day? Well, it's also the Day of Atonement. So, hey, all us good Jewish people can break the fast tonight. On this day, on September 16th, 1620. I'm taking you back there for a little bit in your history lessons. the Mayflower bound for the Americas with 102 passengers. September 16th, 1620. Have you heard? I know you've all heard of ghosting. Okay, have you heard of ghosting coasting? Ghosting coasting. Have you heard this term? I mean, I am not hip enough. I know what ghosting is, but I did not know what ghosting coasting is. Anybody here know what ghosting coasting is? I found it very, very interesting. Ghosting coasting is when a worker, and this is actually a term that the Federal Reserve Bank is being quoted as. It's when a new hire works for a few days, then moves on to another employer. Say if you're a restaurant, they work a few days for you, and then they decide, another restaurant offered me something, or I got your signing bonus, to show up on my first day bonus, and now I'll go work for another employer. And they're collecting a paycheck from both. It's even worse for the original employer, obviously, if you're offering the upfront bonuses. So ghosting coasting, and we don't want any part of it. We don't want people to coast us. Ghosting coasting. I can't make these terms up. I can't make them up. I am not that creative. I am not that creative to come up with ghosting coasting. Yoga. Hey, Kelly, it is great to have you here. I hope your day finished off well. I was actually going to give you a call and check in on you with all our back and forth today. But I hope I'm glad the yoga instructor was there, and I'm glad you got your yoga today. I like this quote from comedian Norm Macdonald, who just passed away. It is necessary to be tolerant in order to be tolerated. It is necessary to be tolerant in order to be tolerated. That sort of goes with the Yom Kippur holiday, and atoning for your sins and everything. And this has actually been reposted a few times today. A few different people have talked about it, but I got it from the original. You can't juggle it all 100%. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do everything. And that's a quote from Connie Chung. You can't juggle it all 100%. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do everything. The SBA is trying to change part of their long-standing lending policy. So prior to the pandemic, the SBA didn't actually loan money. Okay, prior to getting into other than the economic injury disaster loan, the SBA was not a direct lender. If you got an SBA loan, if you bought a building, if you bought a business, you did not get that loan directly from the SBA. The SBA ultimately guaranteed a portion of your loan to the local bank that you were working with. And the SBA would like to change that. The SBA, as part of the, again, the budget bill that's working its way through, okay, the things that are working its way through Congress, would like to be a direct lender for loans of $150,000 or less, or at least be an option for a direct lender. And so they're asking Congress for money to be able to do that so that they can be a direct lender and have a direct relationship with businesses. It would be a catastrophic shift, but they say one of their reasons for pushing for this, and they're partially correct, is that people had such a hard time getting a PPP because they didn't have a banking relationship. And they have a hard time accessing capital. Small business owners have a hard time accessing capital because they don't have a good banking relationship. Hey, Adele and Dazzle, you can break the fast with a treat. It is treat time. It is great to have you both here tonight. I hope you had a great break the fast, Adele. I do. I hope you had a terrific break the fast. I get to break the fast after this. I have not broken the fast yet. I will after this. So we'll see where that goes. Again, there are so many moving parts in this budget, and what is going on in Congress right now. I don't know. I mean, there are so many things up in the air right now. I don't know where it's going or what's going to happen with it. It is very interesting, and honestly, I've been, I told you last night that I've been asked to comment on the refunding of the Restaurant Revitalization Fund with a change to allow all small businesses to participate, so that you'd be able to participate, to fund it sufficiently enough that you'd be able to participate. And I have to give my comments on that tomorrow. I have to give my speaking on that as part of this budget. And I really think that is a far-fetched, I don't know that they're going to throw the money out there for that. I mean, that's a lot of money. There's a lot of businesses. It would be a big deal because as you recall, the Restaurant Revitalization Fund basically had a very simple formula. What were your sales in 2020? What were your sales, and subtract your sales for 2019? Whatever the difference is, they send you less your PPP. And if you got a PPP, and they would send you a check for it. Well, and no forgiveness forms, no anything. I mean, the simplicity of it is nice. And businesses need a lot of help. So I've been really trying to come up with the right words that will get people's attention and understand that business is better, but it is not fully back for most people. Business is better, and people are in a better place than they were, but it is not back. The virus is still with us. There's still a lot of levels of uncertainty out there, and I am working on that to frame that. Again, I really don't know that's going to go anywhere. But I can hope. I can hope that that kind of additional support for small businesses actually happens. But this whole yes, the surges do throw things back down. But it's sort of you don't want the lights to go dark on Broadway. You don't want the lights to go out on Main Street. You don't want the lights to go out on Main Street, and that is part of the message. And quite honestly, I would argue the lights on Main Street, on main streets across this country, are flickering. They're not out. They're not on. But the lights on Main Street businesses are flickering, it makes it hard to plan. It makes it hard to do. So somehow I'm going to turn that into a few sentences to and everything to give my comments. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Kitty. I mean, the reality is it is still happening. People are still actively dying. It is a tragedy. It is a tragedy. especially with all the treatments and everything else that are out there. I mean, it is a real tragedy. So I I'll come up with some words for it. I'll share what I do, but it will, to have the conversation I have to have tomorrow on that. But because small business is still affected, small business is still and um, it goes beyond restaurants. It goes beyond. I mean, restaurants are really, really. I've worked with a bunch, and they're really, really hurting. Um, but the they're it won't always be this way. But you need businesses to still be around after this. You need businesses to still be around after this. It's like that customer. That's almost a better analogy. I mean, we all know it's better to keep the customer you have. It's easier to keep the customer and get more sales from the customer you have than getting a new customer. And it's easier to grow the small businesses that you have than to try to grow a new small business. How's that? How's that? There's a start at a quote. That's part of why the government should continue to support small business on our way out of this pandemic. But you end out with news like this: retail sales post a surprise gain in August. Retail sales rose 0.7% in August versus expectations for a 0.8% decline. And jobless claims were up slightly. So I mean, but this is, you're comparing month to month. More schools were open, more things were happening. So it's not a surprise to me that there's a 0.7% gain. But you're comparing August to July. So, I should have some more actual detail of where that's breaking out. Non-store sales, online sales jumped 5.3% month to month. With furniture seeing a healthy 3.7% increase and general merchandise sales a 3.5% increase. So, and sales year over year were up 15.1%. Year over year were 15.1%. So, that just, but in a sign of things to come in retail, and again, this is how do you get more done? We've talked about staffing so much. How do you get more done? Dunkin' Donuts has opened its first digital-only restaurant in Boston. You can't order with a cashier. There are no cashiers there to order. There's only your order up window. You can either order on their app for pickup, or you can, they have a kiosk in there. So kind of like you might see in a Panera or some McDonald's have them. But that is the only way to place an order. You cannot place an order with a person at this new Dunkin' restaurant in Boston. And Dunkin' is based in just south of Boston, is where the Dunkin' Corporation is based. But their new store, no cashier. Their machine will take their kiosk will take cash and everything. But there is not a cashier there for you to deal with. There's nobody to say, hey, if you can't figure out how to do it on the app or on their kiosk, you're up the creek, because there's only a slot that your order is going to come out in. Only a slot where your order is going to come out. There is not a way for you to order with a person, or to change your order, or to do any of that. Part of that is streamlining. So I mean, that's also where they don't want a lot of changes to orders. They want you to get your coffee. I mean, you're heading to the Jetsons. But I mean, it is also, Dunkin' still has a fairly wide menu. If you look at all the things that are on Dunkin's menu, but it's also, you're not going to go in there and say, I want this donut and that don't. You're doing it all in the app. Okay, you're not holding up the line while you're doing that and everything. I think that is really interesting. I mean, I'm not a big Dunkin' guy. I'm a Starbucks guy over a Dunkin' guy, or I'm really a local coffee shop over both of those. Um, but that is the wave. But that's how you streamline your labor. Okay, that is what they are figuring. That is what they're doing it for, is to streamline the labor. Okay, and get more done with less labor. They're like, okay, and the app doesn't when the app and the kiosk doesn't steal from them. Okay, the app and the kiosk. Okay, if you're missing a whole bunch of food, okay, who's working out back that's stealing from you? So I mean, it is a number of levels. It streamlines things. Okay, it reduces the amount of cash in the store. It is a massive step towards streamlining. It gets rid of some of the issues they've had with tipped wages in various states, with people leaving change in tips and how those are divided, which has caused them some wage issues, depending on in certain states that are tougher on that. So I mean, there are a number of things that this is saving them, and to a great degree, a lot of their customers probably like it. Okay, I mean, time will tell with this specific store, but I know that they're making this move based on data they already have of how many people are ordering on the app or are doing things and picking up. Although I've never really understood the app ordering. Um, Personally, I haven't done it, but like if I'm ordering Starbucks on the app or Dunkin' on the app, I mean, I want my coffee hot or fresh. I want it fresh. If I'm getting an iced one, if you were going to get an iced one, I don't want the ice all melted by the time I get. So I don't know exactly how that works with that because I don't use that. That's why I go in and order. But I won't be doing that with people. Um, October is beauty month. October is beauty month, people. According to Amazon, the holiday beauty haul from October 4th to 25th. Amazon is going to be pushing beauty from the 4th to the 25th of October. Kathy, well, you're all hip, only using the app. You only use the app like that. You're hip. I'm an old guy. What can I say? I'm not young and hip and trendy like you, Kathy. Um, but the from the 4th to the 25th, Amazon is hosting the Holiday Beauty Hall with special, sort of like Prime for Beauty. Prime for Beauty is what I would consider that. Um, and we've talked about this before, but the Body Shop, again, interesting hiring decisions. The Body Shop is making open hiring with no background checks permanent in their stores and their distribution centers. Okay, tested this early in 2020. Um, and their only questions, hang on a second, are it has a 3-question interview process to work for the Body Shop. Can you stand for up to 8 hours? Question number 1, can you stand for up to 8 hours? Question number 2, can you lift over 50 pounds? What's question number 3? That's 2 questions, not 3. It gives that, their whole idea is that this is that, you get people who may have been disadvantaged or may have, fallen through the cracks. And they are partnering with nonprofit organizations to engage candidates with barriers to employment, including homelessness, incarceration, and lack of education. Where's the third question, though? They also have a new questionnaire referred to as the Joyful Collective form, which allows the HR team to get to know the employee during the onboarding process. The form will help identify any needs the employee may have to be successful, including housing, transportation, and financial literacy, to name a few. And then we'll connect them with the Body Shop's Employee Assistance Program for support. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Do you have a pulse is question number 3. Do you have a pulse? That's good, Kitty. I like what they're trying to do. I like what they're trying to do. I like what they're trying to do. And with how competitive the job market is, with how hard it is, looking to these markets of employees that are underserved, okay, homeless, incarcerated, lack of education. That's smart. It depends. I guess that depends on how much of their employee base that becomes. But I mean, the overall concept of that of those are people that are underserved or underemployed is smart, especially in this job market. So I do give them credit. I do give them credit with that. I've got some other stuff for you. I'm trying to remember what it is. My mind is going blank. It must be because I'm fasting. You know what else is smart, though? This video and everything I talk about. This video and everything I talk about goes over to nerds.org/resale strong by noon the next day. Noon, I tell you, all the files, all the links, everything's over there, including a direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yeah, ring the bell, so you know when a new one drops. You can all share it with all your friends in business, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, so we can help everybody make it to the other side. I'm here every night at more 8 than ish, live in the Nards private Facebook group. But if you have a question in between, you can just email me, Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night with the Good Morning Night book. That's how we roll here. We start with that. If you were not here at the top of the program, our good morning tonight is good morning. It's okay to let your mind drift. Whoa, cool drift, kid. Our good night tonight is good night. So glad we're drift compatible. There's your graphics, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even. We will party again. We will party in person. And when we do, I'm going to be there with you. But until then, and until tomorrow night at more 8 than ish, know that you and you, but most importantly, you, yes, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, Kelly, I love that you didn't finish it because you were busy. We'll catch up tomorrow. Talk to you later. Have a great night. It's time for dinner.